Jeffrey Epstein, big deal today. House passed a vote to release all of his documents. Apparently, the Senate's going to do the same thing. Trump's going to sign it. This is all just show because Trump could release this on his own if he wanted to. I'm not a big Epstein fanatic. I think the guy's dead. Not sure there's much more that can be done to him. The thing that's kind of struck me is in recent days you've seen Democrats releasing some selected documents that showing that Epstein didn't like Donald Trump. That kind of puts him on your side, guys. Probably not the thing you want to be bragging about. So here is a piece by Rich Lowry over at National Review, The Epstein Conspiracy in Plain Sight. This is a good take on it, I think. He makes the point that an element of the American elite embrace Epstein as one of its own, even after his guilty plea, thanks to his wealth and connections. It's not what you know, it's who you know, even if you may have committed terrible crimes, Lowry writes. That's the Jeffrey Epstein version of the famous line about success. The massive tranche of Epstein emails released by the House Oversight Committee didn't reveal any smoking guns about Donald Trump, but it did highlight a vast conspiracy to help the disgraced financier thrive despite his guilty plea to sex charges involving a minor in 2008. This conspiracy wasn't the work of the deep state or Israel or the Jews. No, it was more pedestrian and damning than that. An element of the American elite embraced Epstein as one of its own thanks to his wealth and connections. Want to know more about the reputation of a woman you are having an affair with? Seeking advice on how to gain political influence in Europe? Wondering how you're handling your interactions with a potential mistress? Looking for insights about Donald Trump? Trying to survive sexual harassment allegations? Need a reference for a gastroenterologist? Well then, ask Jeffrey Epstein. Now Lowry goes through some names. He emailed with former Harvard President Larry Summers, Democrat. The linguist Noam Chomsky, big left-wing guy. Venture capitalist Boris Nikolic, Emirati businessman Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, Trump activist Steve Bannon, the journalist Michael Wolff, the artist Andres Serrano, department store scion Jonathan Farkas, and former White House counsel Catherine Rumler. She was Obama's, among others. Again, this is not. This damns all of you politicos in Washington. I don't, the whole lot of you are dirty, and let's see how dirty you are. The Washington Post put up this nice little video. I think it's very telling. Note the terminology here. Jeffrey Epstein was texting with Delegate Stacey Plaskett. She's a delegate, Democrat from the Virgin Islands. She can't vote. She's up there to make people in the Virgin Islands feel like they've got some sort of say. They don't have any say. Same with, Eleanor Holmes Norton. I think there was a old Daily Show report where they're interviewing Eleanor Holmes Norton and the bell rings for a vote. And the Daily Show guys are, well, do you need to go? And it's like, no, you don't need to go. You can, your vote doesn't count because it's not a state. Let's take a listen to this. This is great. I'm wondering if it didn't save the audio when I saved this. Let's try this again. Oh, maybe there's no audio yet. That's possible. Let's try it again.
This was when Barack Obama was president of the United States. And while we were once driving through a struggling neighborhood in Chicago, he commented that only black people could live that way. Attorney-client privilege, yes, I will turn it over.
You, as my friend Mr. Meadows pointed out, misled this committee even today in a written submission that contradicted your testimony. You have suggested you are going to review that. Are you going to review it in our next break to correct the record, yes or no?
Yes,
Question, you helped out the president's campaign or were involved in the campaign as a representative, as a spokesman, even in your words today. It was your idea for the campaign dating back to 2011. Is that accurate, yes or no?
yes.
Mr. Weisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? Are they with the Trump Organization?
They
and
are.
Are there other people that we should be meeting with?
So Alan Weisselberg is the chief financial officer.
You got to
Trump
quickly give us
Organization.
as many names as you can so we can get to them.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot that went on.
I want to pause this for a minute here because this is just great. So they declined to answer questions before they posted this. After the story published, and this is last Friday, during the hearing, Congresswoman Plaskett received texts from staff, constituents, and the public at large offering advice, support, and in some cases, partisan vitriol, including from Epstein. Let's be clear here. Partisan vitriol wasn't from Epstein. It was the advice and support. And maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe the Virgin Islands is a really tight-knit community where all of her constituents have direct access to her cell phone and its text number and text her all the time about, the neighbor's dog that starts barking at 5 a.m. in the morning. Well, we should let Delegate Plaskett know. Give me a break. We're supposed to believe this stuff. I don't believe it. Let's go here. Well, we got anything else? As a former
why should Americans trust you and House Democrats?
Sorry, it's late at night. As a former prosecutor, she welcomes information that helps her get at the truth and took on the GOP that was trying to bury the truth. The Congresswoman has previously made clear her long record combating sexual assault and human trafficking, her disgust over Epstein's deviant behavior, and her support for his victims. I'm sorry. She was texting back and forth with him. Who was the bigger person? Who did she really want to get? She wanted to get Trump. She didn't care about Epstein. They already knew about Epstein. Epstein was, being investigated by the feds at this time, but he'd already, as Lowry noted in that piece earlier, he'd already been charged with, in 2008 with doing this. They knew what they had with Epstein. Go figure. Let's move on. This is great. So this was yesterday. This is Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York. He is asked about should Miss Plaskett be texting back and forth with his with I believe the term is, it's not appropriately pedophile. It's like FFI. It's post-pubescent but still underage girls. Let's see what Mr. Jeffries has to say.
Why should Americans trust you and House Democrats on the Jeffrey Epstein files when one of your own, Congresswoman Plaskett, was found to be texting with Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing, getting information from him, using that in her questioning during a congressional hearing, and at one point he tells her, "Good job."
This is a bipartisan effort to make sure that, consistent with what the survivors have requested, that there's full and complete transparency, and every single predator who may be in those Justice Department files doesn't escape accountability.
There you go. It's a master class. That's a master class on, I'm not going to answer that question. And I am just going to repeat my little spiel. And yeah, that's he's an accomplished politician. That's I guess the right way to do it as a politician. Is it honest? Is it forthright? Is it forthcoming? No, it's none of those things. And why would he behave this way? I don't know why he would behave this way. Let's move on to the next one and see. Maybe we'll find out why he behaves this way.
Colleagues' coordination with Epstein. Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event or to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch. The files underscore why former President Trump must appear for his deposition. We've subpoenaed him. To date, the Democrats have done nothing to help us secure his appearance. I support full transparency. The Oversight Committee will continue to work to get the truth to the American people and to get justice for the victims. That's our goal of this investigation. With that, I yield back.
Mr. Gentleman's back. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we reserve. The gentleman reserves.
So,
the gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Yeah, this is all about. I mean, they weren't offended by, the charges, because this is 2013. This is 5 years after it came out that he was, screwing around, excuse the phrase, with underage girls. And they can still get money from him. That's all they care about. He's a big donor. So this, and Republicans tried to remove Plaskett from the House Intel panel over these texts. Why they have her on any serious panel, I've got no idea. She can't vote. She's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Frankly, very few of them are. But they had the vote tonight. It failed. Every single Republican, with the exception of 3, voted to remove her. With the exception of 3 who voted no and 3 who voted present, and every Democrat voted to keep her. No censure there, which, rumors going around are that Republicans are, the 3 Republicans or the 6 Republicans, some number of them that made it so it didn't pass, did that because they're covering for a Republican who's under ethics committee scrutiny or something. You shouldn't do that. Let the chips fall where they may. But this is just, neither party, I think, starts looking good on this. And Democrats, the idea that, Trump wanted to keep these documents hidden because they make him look bad. President Biden colluded with state and federal prosecutors to try and get Trump put in jail before the 2024 election so he couldn't, run again. The idea that that if there was something in these documents that was truly damning to Trump and they wouldn't have released it when they had all that power, I'm sorry, you can't believe that honestly, and you're letting your Trump derangement syndrome just overwhelm just common sense. So hopefully, that'll all come out. I don't think there's going to be much in there because most of the stuff has come out before. We'll see these documents. I think there are people on both sides of the aisle that are going to look really bad. And then you're going to get these conspiracy theorists. So, they're only releasing it now because they've managed to lose all the truly damning stuff. Don't believe that either. Those sorts of conspiracies take a lot of people, and they never hold together. It's the old joke about the about the JFK conspiracy theorist who dies, goes to heaven, and the first thing he asks he asks God, he says, God, who really killed JFK? And God says to him, it was Lee Harvey Oswald from the third story of the Texas Book Repository using a Carsano rifle. He acted alone. There was no CIA connection. There was no FBI connection, no foreign government, nothing. It was him acting alone. And the guy looks at God and says, wow, this goes higher up than I thought. Thanks for watching this clip from Hoystory On Air. Please be sure to follow me on hoystory.substack.com, on X at Hoystory, Facebook, hoystory.com, and YouTube. Subscribe at Hoystory. Thanks for joining me. Please keep an eye out for my next video.